Good day to you all. I hope you're well. I'm a bit out of sorts. I'll tell you why later.
In the old days you couldn't truant school, because every drawn curtain was an eye. Before your mother got off the bus and into the house, she knew exactly where you'd been, what you'd had to eat, what you were wearing and where you'd got it from. Parents don't know that today. Oh, no.
A friend of mine has been helping me with doing some demos for voiceover work. We've done some gentle sort of advert type stuff, and we decided it would be good to have some ranting, for want of a better word. Ranting and screaming. So I had to go here in this hood isolation Isovox 2, but I still felt self-conscious. I'm in a flat, and also I couldn't get far enough away from the mic, so it didn't really work. So I decided to go over the road to these rehearsal studios, which are not being used during the day. They're for bands, but they're sort of damped and isolated to some extent. And it gives me mates rates during the day when it's empty. So I decided to take the SV33 because why not? And instead of taking a laptop and an audio interface and all that good stuff, I thought for this I'll use the Tascam, which I have compared before to the other stuff, and it's pretty good. So I just take this, the SV33, blah blah blah, easy. It turned out to be a good idea. As I started to warm up to this, and I did it several times to get going, and only short things as you've seen, but I realised I need the mic pad switch on, which reduces the level from this because it was difficult to stop it from overloading. What turned out to be very useful is this has also got a 12 dB recording setting, so you get two files. You get the file as is and you get a 12 dB lower. Turned out I needed the 12 dB lower because once you get going, of course I'm doing all this on my own, so you can't keep an eye on everything and you get into it and all the rest of it. Well, I guess I didn't really need the SV33, but as I've said before, with loud stuff, you don't really get to hear too much of that. But I've got it, so. Had it about 2 feet away, as you'll see. I don't know if I've got anything useful. We shall see what she thinks. There's something, though, that I'd like to mention, which is why I'm out of sorts a little bit. I had several goes, and I've noticed this before. When you're physically at full volume, something seems to happen. Obviously, I could feel when I'd finished, I could feel these muscles here and in my back and so on. But beyond that, I felt a bit out of sorts. And I think there must be a psychological element. I've mentioned this before in a previous video, that when you're doing that kind of stuff, I guess in nature, you only do that stuff when you're shouting at a lion or something. And it has an effect. So I felt, I wouldn't say exhausted exactly, but just a bit strange at the end of it. So I wonder, maybe, I don't know if any of you have experienced that kind of thing, whether there's psychological research on it. But anyway, I thought you might be interested. This did really well, and the Tascam did well. So we'll see if it's any use.